Okay, so I have been asked repeatedly how I make cloud bread. Cloud bread, for anybody who's interested, is a very simple bread substitute for those on the ketogenic diet. Now, there's a few things that are important to really know and understand when making this, and the very first thing is temperature. The eggs have to be room temperature. You're going to use cream cheese also. Cream cheese has to be room temperature or slightly warmer. Step one is we are going to separate the yolks from the whites. Now there's different life hacks online where people use 2-liter bottles or whatever to get the yolk out. I've not had luck with that. I just do the old-fashioned crack an egg and rock it back and forth method. Basically, you crack it and you let the white slowly go down the side and keep the yellow inside of the shell. Do this last one. Now, some recipes tell you that it is imperative that absolutely no yolk gets into this. It is definitely a good idea not to get a lot of yolk into it, but it's not going to ruin the recipe if you get some yellow in it. So, that's that. I gotta wash my hands because I have egg on them. Okay, so we are going to do the yellow first. We do the yolks, and the reason we're going to do the yolks first is once you whip the white, you are in a slight bit of a time frame. So I use salt. I use Himalayan sea salt. It's not in all of the recommended recipes, but I like it. I'm going to take some pepper. Let's give it a little bit of flavor. You're going to drop in the cream cheese, a bit of a binding agent. And then I like to add a little bit of cheese. Give it just a little bit of flavor. Cheese melts, helps keep it together. Alright, now just mix it all up. This is the easy part. So you're going to use 3 tablespoons of cream cheese, room temperature. You can throw it in the microwave for about 15 to 20 seconds, and it'll get that nice creamy texture. So there we have the yellow. Now, I do add a little bit to the white, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I do a lot of measuring by eye, so I don't have exact measurements for this. What I do have an exact measurement for is cream of tartar. There we go. This is going to help. You're basically, at this point, you're going to make a meringue. And you're going to use 1/8 teaspoon. Pop it in. And now we're going to whip. Now when you read a lot of the how to on these, they say make peaks. I'm going to do something nobody showed you on any of those and show you what actual peaks look like. But take it. I recommend lifting the bowl up here so you can get the most depth with your mixers. And then here we go. Now it's not done just yet, but you can kind of see it's getting that fluffy, and the peaks are the parts that top, these pieces right here. So, all right. you've basically got a nice solid meringue. This will not work if it's not room temperature. Okay, sorry for the little jump there. Alright, so now, all the instructions online say whip the yellow into the white. I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to take half of meringue, and I'm going to fold it into the yolk. I'm going to fold it until it looks like you get most of it in there, which doesn't take a lot of effort, and then I'm going to put the rest in. And then we're going to fold this as well. Now the reason I did the yellow first is the whole process is whipping a lot of air into the white of the egg, and that air is going to want to escape. So you're on a slight time crunch. You don't need to rush. Now, normally what people do at this point is they take a little bit and they make basically slices of bread. I'm actually going to be making a sub, and I make pizza this way. So on top of parchment paper, very important that it's parchment paper because wax paper will not work. You're going to spread it out, get it nice and even. Now while you had been doing this, I should have mentioned this earlier, you should have set your oven to 300 degrees. And now that this is down, and I'm going to go put it in the oven for 30 minutes. Alright, and so we're back. So it's been 30 minutes. Let's take it out of the oven. And this is going to be a cloud bread sub. Now, I make pizza on this also. I take it out a few minutes early and put all the toppings on and throw it in for another 10 minutes. But one of the nice things, and this is why it's important to use parchment paper, because if you use wax paper, it's going to stick really bad. Boom. There's your golden, delicious cloud bread. I'm going to put some lunch meat in here, flip it, throw it back in, maybe put a little garlic butter on it, and call that dinner.